Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Faith-Based Workplace YouTube channel. I'm your host, Solomon Savoy. I have my lovely and beautiful wife, Shannon Savoy. We're going to be doing a video today. We want to come together and do this video. This is narcissistic relationships from a man's and woman's perspective. We're going to be talking about just different things that'll break this down for us a little bit better. I think usually we see it from a woman's point of view, and then sometimes you might see it from a man, but this time we're going to bring it together. Once again, like I said, that's my wife, Shannon. I'm going to give her opportunity just to talk about her business and the things she started right quick before we get started. Shannon.
Hello. Well, thank you for having me here. I'm Shannon Savoy, the CEO and founder of Narc Free Living, LLC. And with Narc Free Living, you see a lot of people talk about narcissists, especially nowadays, and that's an awesome thing. But what Narc Free Living does is talk about narcissism and the Jezebel spirits from a spiritual perspective. So we seek to educate and just let people know that about these spirits and about these personality traits, but also how you can formulate strategies to cope with these and to get past it and to overcome these spirits and to cast out these spirits, I should say. So that's kind of what we do at Narc Free Living, LLC.
Beautiful. I like it. Obviously, I know a lot about Narc Free Living, being she's my wife. So we'll put the links and everything, how to get in touch with Shannon at the end of this video, in the description, I should say. But let's get right into this one so we can get started. First question is actually going to come towards you, Shannon. What are the differences between a male and female narcissist?
Let's see. So first of all, women are more covert. They are more undetectable. They go more undetectable than men do. From a psychology perspective, men are diagnosed higher, even though we know those stats are totally wrong, because psychology says like 1% of the population are narcissists. And we know that is absolutely false, because no narcissist is walking into a doctor's office asking to be diagnosed. So yeah, and they will tell you don't diagnose, but God tells us to have discernment and to know what we are dealing with. So from that perspective, women go more undetectable than men do. And I'm going to list some of the traits, and then I'll get into a little bit how females differ. So, but all narcissists have the baseline traits. That is the lack of remorse, no empathy, or only empathy as it pertains to themselves. They're very self-centered, pretentious. Women are more pretentious and gossipy, even though the male narcissist, we know that spirit goes both ways. The Jezebel spirit, all these spirits, they're not, even though they may have male or female names, we know that, you know, it can go either way. So they're very gossipy. With women, the difference is they're more nice, nasty. They have a nice, nasty disposition. At 1 minute, it's the same thing with men, that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, but they turn into nasty, that viciousness. Women use their mouths to cut down other women, to cut down their husbands, to cut down their boyfriends, their children, whoever. They're never wrong. They're highly critical of their children, especially daughters of narcissistic mothers. If you have a narcissistic mother, you know, they are highly critical. They are pathological liars. And then they all use gaslight and projection. And with women, they're going to use their children, even though men use their children to get back at the woman if he's a narcissist, but women manipulate their children to be a constant source of supply for her, because a woman has that advantage over a man. And she's going to use her appearance to manipulate. Very charming, will lure you in. That's that Delilah spirit that a lot of women have. They're hypersensitive to criticism. They love money, and they will put you in debt to get whatever it is that they want. So it's nothing wrong with having nice things, but you have nice things. I have nice things because I can afford it, not because I'm going into debt to get it. But a narcissist, a woman narcissist, male or female really, but women in particular, will go into debt to have these things at any cost, to project the image and the facade of having it all. So women use their looks and take away their love. They're more passive aggressive, and men use their strength and money and their power to control. So I think those are some of the main differences.
I definitely agree. I was going to chime in a little bit, but I mean, you hit everything on point. Like you said, women, it's just the way they do it. It's just like we talked about before with a man and a woman, like with cheating. A man is quicker to get caught cheating compared to a woman. So the same thing with a narcissist. A woman, to me, is able to just do it a lot longer, and they're more sneaky, I guess, with it compared to a man. Man is like him being a narcissist. You're able to pick up on it because he's probably angry and kind of aggressive and abusive, so you can pick up on that just a little bit quicker. So I definitely agree with that.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. So when a man discovers a narcissist female or someone he believes has narcissistic traits, what do you think happens? What is the process that men go through when they think like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would say it's like a sense of betrayal at first, learning like, okay, wait, is this what I'm doing? I'm dealing with a narcissist. I mean, I'm dealing with this person that I thought I loved, or starting out with it. Hopefully you catch it in the beginning stages, but like we just said, with a woman, it's kind of hard to catch that cup. So you're probably going to catch it probably in a later stage. You probably already got married to this woman, or hopefully you didn't have kids with her or whatever, but it's that sense of betrayal and just not knowing what's going on. Kind of deer in the headlights, kind of confused on what is actually going on with this person that you thought you loved. So I think once you discover and you start doing some, just a little, like you say, surface level research, then you start picking up on different things and knowing that you're not dealing with the person you thought you was dealing with. And then once you realize they are a narcissist, or even you think they might be a narcissist, because like you say, self-diagnosing or whatever. But I think once you come to that conclusion, you have to start doing something. And it's crazy because men are like, similar to women, obviously, we're going to try to stay in that and see, what she loves me. So I'm going to try to stay in and try to fix her. Because I think women do the same thing. But I'm telling guys in this case, if you're not married to her, it's better just to walk away, because it's going to get worse for you. When I say worse, I mean really, really bad, because women can be very destructive, like slashing your tires, tearing up your car. You got the smear campaign. You have a lot of different things that happen. 0 to 100, like they say, like Drake's song, but in a whole different aspect. So I think once you discover that, you need to figure out what's my next move. And that's going to be the exit strategy. That's trying to figure out what I need to do next to get out of the situation. And that's my take on, a man, because it's hard for us to figure that out. But if you do figure it out, you got a leg up on most people. So once you figure it out, you need to go ahead and move accordingly, talk to God, have that prayer with him. And then I'm pretty sure he's going to show you. Probably been showing us red flags, but again, we're men, so we look at things a little bit different from women. So we just ignored all the red flags, which is crazy in itself. But once you put everything together like a puzzle piece, like we talked about, then you need to go on, okay, it's clear as day. I see the whole picture for what it is. This is a narcissist. This is the woman I love. I need to come up with an exit strategy. No matter if you're married or whatever, like you say, you need to get away. That's my thoughts on that.
I agree. And I think with men are quicker to call a woman crazy. And that term is used so much with men. Oh, she's crazy. So it hurts when you really think somebody is crazy. It's because your perspective is kind of discounted, because that's common. Oh, she crazy. Oh, she slashed my tires. But no, you really mean, you have to be really adamant about what you are experiencing. And I think men more so than women don't know how to put that into words where people can understand what they are going through, because men don't tell. So for every woman that tells, there is 10 men that don't tell, 50, 100 men that don't tell, because men have this, a lot of times men are not going to be believed. Women are not believed. So a lot of times men, if you tell a friend or something that, I think my wife is crazy, they like, oh, all women are crazy. You know what I mean? It's the abuse is minimized, especially with men. And men kind of gaslight themselves in a way, they'll be like, oh no. and they won't put the pieces of the puzzle together. Like, no, this is more than this woman being just crazy. Like, it's some deeper, more sinister things going on than somebody just being crazy. So yeah, men really have to hone in on what's happening, to recognize the signs and see if this is something more than somebody just being a little bit jealous and insecure. I didn't say that before. Women narcissists are very, very vindictive. All narcissists are vindictive, but women narcissists, they take it to another level. They will, just like a man, both of them, they will destroy you, and they will use your children. They will use whatever you love to hurt you. So I hope more men start to speak out about their experiences and put a voice to what is going on with them versus hiding, because that will empower other men to come out and talk. So
I definitely agree with that. And I think that's that male ego. You don't want to tell, like you said, your best friend or family member when it's another guy, my wife is abusing me. They're gonna look at you like you crazy. But it happens. And a lot of men are getting abused. When I say abused, I'm talking about physically, mentally, everything that happens to a man. But men with the ego thing and the pride, I think that's the biggest killers of men. So I think the more we talk about this and bring awareness out that it's okay to, it's women out there that, they do abuse you and beat you and do things like that. But I think more men need to come forward, and then we'll see, like you said earlier, the 1% narcissist. We both know that's not true, because just from us being together, we've seen people in our family and just, work places and things like that. So that's 1%. Well, I didn't see, enough just between two of us. So it's not 1%. It's just, like you said, a lot of people just don't come forward. Same thing with the men. So
yeah. And then one more thing on that. Yes, and women will hit men and think that it's okay. Oh, well, you better not hit me. Or they're just vicious with their mouths. You know what I mean? So you got to look at all that. That is not normal behavior when somebody gets mad at you and they turn into a completely different, person. I'm going to get angry, but I'm not going to turn into, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I think men think that that's part of being in a relationship. Some men think that that is a part of being in a relationship with a woman, that she's going to be vindictive. She's going to be, when she gets mad, she's going to spew hate with her mouth. She's going, that's verbal abuse. That is emotional abuse. But people just look at it, oh, she's just blowing off steam. No, it's something wrong with her, So definitely. Yeah, I hope more men don't stop to think. And like you said, men are getting abused, in these relationships with women. I've seen women that will pop off and, hit somebody upside the head or you know what I mean? Just, and do that on the regular and think that that's, oh, well, he shouldn't have did that to me. And look at people online. And I think it was Cardi B or somebody was like, no, I hit him or something. I don't know what the lady said, but something to that effect, like she is the one that is the aggressor. And this is who our kids are listening to, not our kids, but this is who kids listen to and they look up to, you know what I mean? But it's something wrong with that. So that's why it's so important, especially for men and women, to be careful who you have children with. Be careful about that Delilah spirit. Be careful about that Jezebel spirit, because that is the spirit that is going to be raising your kids. That is the spirit that's going to be imparted into your kids, into your bloodline. So we have to be careful with that. It's more than looks. You got to look at the spirit of a woman. You got to look at the spirit of a man and see what's going on.
Definitely true. Definitely true. I have nothing else to add to that, because I think we covered a lot. If you look at that one question, I mean, I think from that, people watching this, they don't get nothing else out of this video. I want them to know that men are getting abused also. They need to come forward and just don't be scared to call the cops or tell a friend, because that's part of the reason right now. That's why a lot of people don't know about it. But more men I'm seeing are starting to come forward, which is good. But we need even more men to come forward, like you said, with men. So we'll move right on to the next question. Let me see, where are we at?
When a woman discovers a narcissist man, what do you think happens next?
Yes, that's your question.
Just like you already kind of hit on this. When you start researching somebody's behavior, when you start Googling like symptoms and what's, because that spirit puts you in a state of confusion. You know, and those spirits are transferable. So you're going to be in a state of confusion as you're wondering, how did we go from having the perfect relationship, you know, because with a narcissist, it all seems so perfect until it's not. So how do we go from love bombing? Now we're in the devalue phase. So, you know, and that leaves you spinning. So when a woman finds that out, she's trying to figure out, what am I dealing with? Like, what is this? Is this normal? You know, why is this happening? So I'm probably sure it's probably the same for men, but that as a woman, that is what I did. I was like, whoa, exactly what I just said. We went from one phase where I was the best thing and the soulmate, and even if it's not a interpersonal or you know, a partner, you know, spouse, boyfriend, you know, husband, wife, or whatever, even if it's a friendship, you're still with a narcissist, you're still going to go through all those phases. So yeah, when you start to research and Googling behavior and you're in a state of confusion, and that narcissist is going to wear you out when you're constantly fatigued and you're stressed, and you you know, your physical makeup, everything is starting to change in your body because of the stress on you. Oh, you know, it's something big going on. So yeah.
Yeah, like you said, we hit on it earlier, and that's why I'm not going to go too in depth to it. But like you said, once you start Googling, between YouTube, and reading different books, you can get a lot of help. Counseling, yeah, you can do that too, and we know you can throw in prayer and God. Obviously, that's who you go to first, but you got to do, you know, like research on your own. So once you do that research and figure out, because the first thing is recognizing the signs. So once you recognize those signs or recognize something is off, you know, then you go into that, you know, the research part. I want to bring in that first Bible verse before we get into the next. This is Psalms. Let me see, what is this? Psalms 119 and 115 is what it is. Depart from me, ye evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God. Depart from me, ye evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God. I mean, to me, just reading that verse, what it's saying to me, I had to pull my Bible out because I had it over there. But to me, what that is saying to me, people do evil things. We talk about this all the time. Narcissists, what we're talking about. We stay focused on narcissist relationships and just people being narcissistic or narcissism, however you want to say it. But to me, you need to get those people out of your life. That's the part of removing them. That's the gray rock. We probably touch on that a little bit here. The gray rock, the no contact, things like that. Those things are real. They put in place. It's like rules at a job. So this is like rules of dealing with a narcissist. So if you have those rules in place, okay, I need to go no contact. It don't matter if it's a family member. It don't matter if it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, cousin, whatever. If it's a coworker, supervisor, whatever the case is, if I'm going to go no contact with a parent or a cousin or a stepdad, whatever the case is, you think I want to do it with somebody at work? So come on now. I mean, I'm just telling y'all. So if you're dealing with me, just realize that Bible verses like that, and then knowing what I know now, okay, you think I won't cut you off? So people think, I think they get that twisted when they say, "Oh, well, that's your family." Are they? Are you really my family? I mean, I'm just saying, because my family will support me through things that I have going on. You know, you wouldn't be doing evil things to me or, you know, trying to self-sabotage me and things like that. So don't think I want to do it for a coworker or a supervisor or somebody else. It goes both ways. So I just said that verse to, you know, just throw that out there. You know, we like to bring verses in that relate to the topics we're talking about. So just remember, people doing evil things, remove them people out your life, please. Please.
Amen. Amen. And that is a misconception society will put on you, that you just take, you know, whatever somebody puts on you, you just take it. You just take it and you just take some more. And families will do that to you too, that no matter what they do to you, you are supposed to take that abuse. You are supposed to take that and you just forgive, unbiblical forgiveness, their definition of forgiveness. And you just let it go and you just go on and you sit at the Thanksgiving dinner table, and you just pretend that everything is okay. Nobody talks about anything. It's just swept up under the rug, and that is wrong. Wrong.
Exactly. Okay. moving right along. I'm next. Yeah, I'm next. Question 4. You want to read that one?
Yes. Why is it harder for a man to notice the traits of a female narcissist? That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's to me with the woman, it's a lot of things she does to I guess you say fake the funk. I guess that's the, for lack of better words, what I use. So, a woman will use sex. They use sex appeal. They use their looks. They use their curves. They use a lot of different things to throw you off of their trail. It's almost like going hunting and having one of the hound dogs out there trying to find the deer you just shot at the duck. Well, if you have different things out there that's on that trail to throw the dog off. It's the same thing with a woman. They're going to throw so many things out there. I call it booby traps, I guess you can say it. I just came up with that. It's like booby traps out there. So you going over here dealing with this, and she's over here doing that. I mean, and it's constant. The deeper you get in love with them, and the more you fall in love with them, and you throw the kids in, you got married, well, it's going to be that much harder for you to recognize that. And then by the time you do recognize it, it's probably too late, and you don't want to get to that point. So it's just a hard thing. And it goes back to what I said earlier with the cheating. Women, let's be real, women can hide cheating or just hide things better than men can. It's a proven fact, statistic, whatever you want to call it. So it's the same with this, trying to figure out if they this way, if they narcissist, kind of,
Right.
it really is. Because I didn't know what I was dealing with. I'll just go and say it. I didn't know what I was dealing with in the 2 previous marriages. I didn't know. Now I know, but I didn't know when I was in it. You just thinking, like you said earlier, oh, she crazy. Oh, it's a little bit more to that. She's not just crazy. It's a lot more to that. So, it's just one of those things where it's hard to figure out what this woman is doing. Because she can give you everything. She can cook for you.
Right.
They say easiest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Okay, that might be true. So she can cook for you. She can be the cleanest person. She can be fine. Give her what they call dime piece, 10, whatever you want to call it. Have all the looks, everything you look for, and still be narcissistic and crazy on the inside. Their heart and they mind is just throw it off. So, dealing with that, you looking at the physical. We might well see looking at the physical. So we looking at that like, oh, everybody, man, your wife beautiful, blase. He's saying, everybody's saying, giving her compliments, but it's a facade she's putting up because the whole time she's out in public, she's putting on this front. But then it's the same people that go back to the house when y'all behind closed doors, World War III, every time you walk in there. But on Facebook, oh, they look like the nice happy family. Everybody could, man, that family would never do that. Hey, but yeah, they do. So that's my thoughts on it.
Right. That's good. And that leads right into the Bible verse, Proverbs 21:9. And it says, it is better to live in a corner on a roof than in a house with a contentious or cantankerous woman. So that sums that up. Like it is better to go. It is better to go away than to live in a house with a contentious woman who is bringing you nothing but strife and pains and all of that.
Exactly. I agree. So we'll move right along to the next question. Why can women pick up on a narcissist man so quickly?
Women are naturally more intuitive than men are. We pay more attention than you guys do, than men do. Men kind of are in their own world, and women, God gave us that to be able to, balance, juggle things a little bit better. When y'all are focused, y'all are hyper focused on whether it's your work, whether it's your career, whatever it is. Men are more focused on one thing at a time. Unless you're a narcissist, then you juggle a whole bunch of things. But women are naturally more intuitive. We stay longer, and we think we can change people. But we're naturally more intuitive. So we're gonna kind of figure out things. We see things, and then women are around. Typically, in today's society, women are more around the kids. Women are more in tune with what's going on in the home than usually the man is, unless he's, really in tune with his home. So that's what I see.
Yeah, I mean, you hit all the points. Matter of fact, I won't even add nothing to that. That was good. I mean, there's nothing to add to that. So we can go to the next question.
Okay. Okay, that was mine. Do you think that women are harder to detect
Yes, most definitely. I mean, we touched on this. I mean, yes, because of all the things I mentioned earlier. I mean, you go through the whole list of what I just said, and most men probably can add to it. You throw in the physical when she's fine, when she has the looks, where the you throw in those two. I mean, that's like game changer
Mhm.
right there. Then you throw in a personality, a nice sweet personality when she around you, kind of act babyfied, oh daddy and stuff like that. Okay,
Mhm.
well you throw in all that. That's kind of like striking at the man ego. So you add all that stuff in, and then like I said, she cooks, she cleans, she take care of
Mhm.
the kids, take care of the house. But when you come to the house, it's a house you don't want to go to because it's a war zone, like I just said.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, they do all that stuff to throw you off. Just like the show you watching, what's the name of the show? God, Ready to Love. I mean, we
Mhm.
didn't see that. I'm not gonna say her name. We didn't see a couple of characters on there that we
Yeah.
know they didn't call some other people narcissists. Okay, lady. I'm
Right.
not saying you're a narcissist. I'm not gonna say it because I know people might watch this, but okay, you called that man a narcissist, but the things I've seen you do are, are borderline narcissists. So I don't know what
Right.
I'm just saying, So yeah, women are throw stuff off. So I think that's one of the things when she threw everybody off to say, "Hey, he's a
Mhm.
narcissist." Then you over
Mhm.
there looking at him and apologizing after you told the story. Then you gotta realize, wait, hold on. Look at it a little bit deeper, like we were talking about the show when it went off. Wait, she sound like the narcissist, not the guy.
Right.
Yeah, they'll
Right.
throw you off the, like I said earlier, throw you off the trail.
Yes, because she did all the things, the classic things. She was playing the victim. Oh, narcissists can play the victim, and women are going to use women and men actually. They're going to play on your senses. I mean, on your sympathy, and then a lot of times they quench your discernment by tapping into your compassion. So that is why God tells us we are supposed to have discernment when dealing with people, because we watch patterns and we look at, and that's what psychology does too. They look at the patterns, the pathology of a person. How does this person's past look? Because if you look into any narcissist's past, oh my goodness, it's like an onion. You're just peeling back layers. They presented to you this false self. But if you go in there and you dig around a little bit, oh, best believe you're gonna find a trail of people who have been done wrong, of things that they have done. So you have to be careful with that, and really look at a person's actions versus what's coming out of their mouth, because a person's actions will always tell you everything that you need to know about how they feel about you.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's get into the next question. Who do you think stays longer in a narcissistic marriage? And then why is that? The male or the female? Who do you think stays longer?
Women, I think women stay longer. I think men will get out of it a little quicker. Um, yeah, because women, it's a number of factors with women. Okay, and we have to go back to um biblical times and older times. Men historically were the breadwinners, so now that dynamic is changing, but still a lot of women depend on men for their livelihood.
Mm.
So it's financial. They stay in it because of financial. They stay in it because of children. A lot of people who are in abusive homes, they will be like, oh, I didn't grow up with a two-parent home, or I grew up with a two-parent home, so even though it's abusive, I'm going to keep my children in this abusive situation, which is still, it is horrible still.
Yes.
So because of children, because of financial, and because they think they can change them, and they have hope that the narcissist is going to change, or the demons are going to leave, after they found a nice warm body to inhabit. So those three things I think are the major reasons why women stay longer.
I definitely agree with that. I agree with what you're saying with the man leaving quicker. I think once the man notices, if it's a husband, boyfriend, whatever, I think once he notices that this person, this woman, like I said earlier, that I love,
Hmm.
actually, no matter if y'all have kids together, but once you figure out that they narcissist, I think it's a game changer where you need to get out. And I think men will get out of there quicker. Because like we've been seeing it on some of the groups we follow, that where the women in
Hmm.
there 30, 40, 50 years, and they admitting that they knew the guy was a narcissist. I was like, how do you stay in a relationship? I know you
Right.
asking that too, and you're a woman, but I'm just saying, I know most men would have been gone for the most part. I think you give a man a few years and he's going to figure out a way to get out of there. I mean, why would I stay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
men seem like they stay like 20 years is the longest I've seen. And you're gonna always have exceptions, but I've seen men like on different shows and stuff, they will stay like 20 years until their child is, or their children is grown up
yeah.
with the mother. And a lot of times men don't, or men leave, I guess, or no, they stay because they think of the financial impacts.
Mhm.
They know that when they go, if they're married to a narcissist, that narcissist is going to take them to the bank. Okay, you already know that whenever you've come out, if you've been in a long-term marriage and you've split assets, or you have assets with a narcissist, oh, you already know it's going to be ugly, because they're going to use everything they can to hurt you. So if you have home, if you have a home, you have vehicles, or if you co-sign, don't ever co-sign on for anybody. But if you do, however that narcissist can hurt you financially, they will do it. Okay. So I think that's another reason why men stay longer, and then they try to get the woman to have some type of skill, so she's not dependent up on him for his income forever. So it's a lot of factors that go into play why both sides stay as long as they do.
I definitely agree with that, especially when you throw out the financial. And I think men do look at that, because a younger kid, 5 or 6, is one of the things, like the old saying, is it's better to keep her, and no matter shit, narcissist just put up with it. And I got, they'll be counting down years like a jail sentence. It's like, well, I got 12 years to go. Once that child reach 18, and you wonder why the man go off and run, like, well, he sure did. He just sure did, find a woman quickly. Whereas it's the thing is, he realized he was a narcissist way back when the kid was 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. He been checked out of the marriage. He just there, like you just said, just for financial, because it'll be tough on him going to court and back and forth and this, that, and the other. And at least he can try to have a relationship with his kid being in the house. It sucks, but it's the truth.
Yes.
It's the truth.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
You might not have a relationship. I can tell you that right now.
No, because if your spouse, man or woman, is a narcissist, you can guarantee that they're going to try to turn those kids against you. Yeah. And we talked about parental alienation a little bit. I know we're going to delve into it a little bit, but yes, best believe that is going to happen.
Yeah. So moving right along, can kids pick up on narcissist traits from parents? What do you think about that? You think they can pick up on that?
Yes, that's a lot of it. From everything that God, the Holy Spirit, has shown me and that I've read and researched on, these are transferable spirits. That's why God tells us to get away from them. God, show me in the Bible where God told us to stay around people that have demons in them. No, he said, cast them out in the name of Jesus. Okay. He said, tell them to go. But, people just stay in it, and we just gonna hang out here. But these spirits are transferable. So they operate through our bloodlines. They come in through sin, through generational cycles, from your family pathology. All those are avenues. So yes, the kids can certainly pick up on narcissistic traits from their parents. So that's why when you see things in your children and that parent is narcissistic, you should be praying over that child. I don't know if the child, of age or however old, it doesn't even matter. You should be praying over that child, speaking life into that child, casting out those demons in the name of Jesus in that child. Okay. But a lot of people, they go to therapy and they think that therapy is going to get the demon out or something. Therapy is not going to do that. Okay. Therapy will give you practical methods. And I'm an advocate of therapy because you need an outlet, but therapy is not going to cast out spirits. They're going to medicate your child. They're going to give them medicine to subdue the spirit, and the spirit's still going to rise up when it gets angry. So that's why we have to cast those things out, give it to God, have him, tap God in, because you can't handle that by yourself. But it's important when you see those things in your child early on that you nip that in the bud. And that's why discerning spirits is so important. When you start to see rebellion in your child, when you start to see pride and arrogance and bullying and these things in your children, you are supposed to be casting them out, not walking in agreement with them and just letting them run havoc in your home. Okay. So, and that's what a lot of people do, unfortunately. And the last thing on that question is, that's why it's so important for us to be born again in Christ, because in Christ, we have new DNA. Old things are passed away. but we still gonna have work to do, but we have to be in tune with the Holy Spirit, and he will show us. The Holy Spirit will show you, oh, she walking with a spirit of pride.
Yeah.
Oh, she walking with a spirit of rejection. Oh, he's walking and, you know, he has a Jezebel spirit on it. The Holy Spirit will tell you so you can get to the root of that thing and cast that thing out. So that thing is not, you know, all in your churches, in your homes, and in your workplaces, like as it is. But that's why it's so prevalent. So
Definitely. Usually I would add something in, but you hit on all the answers, so I can't really add to it. But I do want to read a quick little passage from this book, and I know we got to get to the next couple of questions we have. We got a couple of slides we're going to bring up too. This is from the book that you actually told me about, Deliverance and Spiritual Warfare Manual. John Eckhart is the author. I just want to read one quick thing. It's called Ignorance is Darkness. I'm going to tie in a Bible verse with that. It's everything we're talking about. You can't say that I don't know, because there's too many tools out there for you to discover these things. You have the YouTubes, you have the Bible, you have Google, you have different books, you have people you can talk to. So to just say I didn't know that this person was a narcissist, right here, ignorance is darkness. So real quick, a lack of knowledge leads to blindness and darkness. And I'll skip ahead where I wanted to get to. Light destroys darkness. Knowledge destroys ignorance. When knowledge comes, light comes. When light comes, the darkness must flee. So Proverbs 11:9, just the second part of that. But through knowledge, the righteous will be delivered. So you think about all of what I just said. What I'm saying is, it's too many tools out here, like the books, people, YouTube. It's too much stuff out here for us to read and get knowledge. We stop saying just the person is crazy. Just dig just a little bit deeper to see, is this person really crazy, or maybe they're a narcissist? Something is going on, because they wasn't acting like that when we first got together. Now everything had flipped. It had flip-flopped on me. So I just want you to, same time, I'm speaking for Shannon too, but I know we want y'all to be able to just practice discernment and realize all these people are not crazy. Something is actually wrong with them. It's something they mental. It's something, you know, they narcissists. You know, we talk about narcissist relationship from a man-woman perspective, but we're telling you that when you're dealing with this or you figure that out, don't use ignorance as, well, I just thought they was crazy, or I didn't know. Don't do that, because that's just being stupid at the end of the day. Don't be a fool. Be smart about what's going on. Don't be a fool.
Yes. And we're talking a lot about women, but we know this goes both ways. You know, everything else, we talk a lot about the man narcissist, but it is important to make sure that we talk about both sides of it, because it goes either way, men or you know, women.
Yeah.
And on that, Solomon, I'm going to put up this slide
Okay.
right quick so you can see this. And then we'll go. So are you able to see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, so just kind of wanted to bring in the covert narcissist. This is the one that really goes undetected. You have overt, covert, malignant, sociopath, psychopath. It's all borderline. It's all a borderline personality. It's all the demonic spirit at its core. Okay, so if you just look at this, it tells you in black and white what you are dealing with. They are master. I'm not going to read everything, but masters at pretending. They love the facade. They love looking perfect to the world. Okay, they don't have any compassion. Yes, highly passive aggressive, and they're gonna, if you do anything to upset them, they're gonna make you seem crazy to the rest of the world. Okay, they lie like rugs. Okay, like just so easily, and it doesn't matter if it's your mother, your child, your father, your husband. They all have these same traits, more or less. Okay, and I think at Male Victims of Female Narcissists, he has awesome platform. So thank you for this slide. So
definitely.
Yeah, that kind of brings it all together.
Yeah, we actually connected with at Male Victim Female Narcissist. He's a real cool guy. I've been talking to him back and forth the last couple of weeks, and I'll definitely let him know that we did use this slide on the video, so he like our videos anyway, so he'll come out and look. So it'll be another view. So let's move right along. We have 2 questions left. I know we have another couple of slides too. So how do you see narcissism and family dynamics?
Oh, you can see how the Jezebel, Delilah, Leviathan, Python, Ahab, you'll see it in families where sometimes I'm going to go both ways. You'll see it where the male, the husband or the boyfriend or whatever has the Jezebel spirit, and then the woman has the Ahab spirit. So the one is manipulative and the other one just enables the other one to do whatever they want to do in the household. Okay. And they may speak up a little bit, but at the end of the day, that Jezebel was running the show. And then if it's a woman, oh, Jezebel is running that house. Jezebel is running that house and Ahab is just there along for the ride. And remember, Ahab can go either way. But in this case, the woman is running the show, and that Ahab spirit is just not able, doesn't have the tools to deal with Jezebel. So we've seen this in our family dynamics, especially in women, families that are women heavy, that Jezebel spirit just gets passed down, and they shoot the men just there. Women run that family. So I've seen this even in my own family, women heavy family, and women run it. And they run it into the ground, because the man has not taken control, or not even control. The man has not took his rightful place, like they're supposed to do, and be leading. And they've allowed the women to usurp their authority. So anytime you have women, in authority like that, especially with the Jezebel spirit, there's going to be chaos, and there's going to be confusion, and there's going to be a bunch of gossiping and just confusion, unless they are, not operating in that spirit. So you can see it play out in our families. You see it with men getting alienated from their kids, or men getting, women getting alienated from their kids. So you can see it all around in our families. And most people don't know to call it narcissist. They just like, oh, my mother's controlling. I'm just a mama's boy. I'm just my mother control. If she's a daughter, my mother just tries to control all my life. They don't think of it as my mother has narcissistic traits, or she's a narcissist, or she has a Jezebel spirit. They just like, oh, and they don't know why. But a lot of times those spirits are running rampant throughout that family.
I definitely, I agree with that. It is. And I think what it is, a lot of families just don't know. They don't know, just like we learning more about narcissists. We learning, me and you, I'm talking about learning day. They got different people that we associate with, like Tonya with her channel, Just Say No to Narcs, and people like that. These people are learning, together that, hey, these things are happening in a family dynamics. And I think people just don't know. It's like we said earlier. A lot of people just say the person is crazy. And that's what it boils down to. They just leave it at that, the person crazy. But if we dig just a little bit deeper, we'll realize that these traits that we're talking about, it's to that person. That person is definitely part of what you're talking about. So it's the narcissist, it's all, like you said, it's all rampant all up in the family. It don't matter which way you go. Kid, man, woman, boy, girl, whatever you want to say it, it's all throughout. Husband, wife, mother, daddy, brother, sister, whatever. We've seen it a few different ways when they talk to people, watching other YouTube videos. So the more I research on it and read different things and look at it, it's like COVID. It's like spread all over the place. Talking about all these COVID cases, but narcissists, like you said, they go that 1%. Where I say no, it's not 1% narcissists, because it's like that map I showed you, what I was telling you about earlier. It looked like the Verizon map when they said the COVID cases. I'm not knocking COVID cases. That's for a whole other video. But on this, you take that same map, the Verizon map, that's how narcissists spread out through the United States. It's red rampant, just like that. Think about the Verizon map when they said they can cover everybody. Think about them, and that's where all the narcissists at in the doggone United States. I'm not even saying that to be funny. I'm just being real, because it's not 1%. It's probably more like 65, 72%, somewhere a high number. Because like you said, we already agreed, most men don't come forward when they dealing. So that's a whole, I don't know how many percentage that is. That'll bump that up. And then they still have a lot of women that don't come forward. So come on now. So it's not 1%. 1% of who? Who they talk to? That's what I want to know. Because they ask me and you, well, that bump up to 1% right there. But like, well, I done dealt with it a few times at work and at home. So it's not 1%. I don't care what they say.
No, that was a great example. The map, yes. And then once you see it so much more easy. It's easier to detect. You're like, oh my goodness, you're a narcissist too.
Yeah.
You got these spirits too. Like, oh my goodness. And they think they be fooling. They think they be fooling you.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I'm gonna go along with you, but trust and believe. My spirit has already discerned what you are. So,
true.
yes. Okay. So,
Yeah,
what is parental alienation? I think we're wrapping it up on this one.
yeah, you're wrapping it up on this, and I know you got a couple of slides. To me, it's basically what a lot of men, what a lot of women go through. In simpler terms, what I went through. Parental alienation is when that parent that's home with the kids basically go lie about you. That's about the parent that's not in the house. They're gonna lie about you. They're gonna start rumors about you. They're gonna tell those kids all kind of things, and it make it that much harder for the parent that's outside the household to have a relationship with those kids. So what happens is, we say parental alienation. That parent is alienated to the fact that they almost like evil to the kids, because in my case, you let the mom tell them whatever they want about the father, and the kids, what else do they know? If I'm not there to debunk that or talk to them all the time, they're gonna believe their mom, because that's where they get their money from, or food, whatever the case. They in the house with them 24/7, basically. And so when that parent is alienated, trust me, it's gonna make it that much harder for you to be able to try to come back from that. And you might not ever come back from it. That's the sad thing, because once they get they claws into them kids, man, you almost like going to war with that narcissist female that you was married to, or the narcissist male you was married to, because your kids are almost lost. Only thing you can do at that point is pray for them, pray for them, pray for them. The times you're out, you still love on them, and then at some point you got to have a conversation where let them know, look, forget the past. Whatever you was told about me, I want you to get to know me for who I am right now, starting from this day on, scratch. Because that's all you got to go on. Because everything in the past, you can't go back with, because you'll be out there for years trying to explain everything the parent had told you. So once you're alienated, you realize you're alienated, pray for them, try to send them happy birthday, cards, whatever you can do. Who knows if they getting the cards? We're not gonna even get into that. That's for a whole other video, because they're probably not getting a lot of this stuff. Who knows if they even telling them you're getting child support from your dad? Trust me, that probably a lie. Probably don't even tell them. So you just have to just stay the course and pray, and just know God is going to work that out somehow, because at some point, remember, what goes on in the dark is going to come out in the light. So at some point, it might take 18 years, it might take 22 years, whatever the case is. At some point, something's going to happen that's going to shake their foundation, and then that's when them kids are going to realize, wait, my daddy really is a cool person, or my mom is not crazy like you said. So you're a narcissist. Okay. So you didn't, okay. And that's what it boils down to. It end up, the parent that been telling you all that stuff probably is the narcissist, they the crazy person. I mean, let's just be real about it.
Yes. I'm going to bring up this slide. You covered that so well. So are you able to see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So just what you said is the parental alienation is this systematic erasure of a parent from the child's life. One parent uses strategies such as grooming, brainwashing, alienating, or programming to distance a child from the other parent. Okay. We know if you're in an abusive situation, then, you have to do what you have to do. Yeah. But we can definitely see how this, exactly what you just said, they're using methods to push the other parent out of the child's life. And if you're discussing, the other parent in front of the child when they're small, that is, you're sending signals, about who that parent is. And they know what they're doing. It's just laying little seeds, and before you know it, they don't want anything to do with you. Now, if you're not a good parent, then the child's going to figure that out, on its own. But some people are doing this systematically. They're not telling. Let me share one more slide before we get out of here, so you can see. Let's see. And this is just kind of ways that we can get beyond that. And let me know if you're able to see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So if you have a toxic parent, these are just steps that you can take. And I thank Sharon Martin for this slide, but steps that you can take that you may have to work towards And sometimes, like you mentioned, the gray rock method, you may have to, just watch how your emotions, because the narcissist is going to always use your emotions against you. So with the narcissistic parent, you can't do that, or a narcissistic spouse or ex-spouse, you're going to have to be very strategic about how you move. Like you always say, document things, document.
Mhm. Yeah, we definitely have to document. I think the screen is frozen. I'm not sure. You back? Okay, the screen that froze for, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're definitely right. You have to document when you're dealing with narcissists, or really with a lot of different people, to be honest with you. You need to document,
Mm-hmm.
because I know me, I'm gonna stop saying I have a bad memory, but I have trouble remembering things. I'm not gonna say I have a bad memory. So it's better to write that down, whether it's in your phone, tablet, whatever, and realize that this person you're dealing with at some point is gonna use a lot of stuff against you, a lot of things against you. So when you got them documentations down, you got it written down, I'm like, nah, on this date at this time, that ain't what happened. Then they can't debunk that. They can't go back and say, well, no, you're lying. I got all this written. I've been having a personal journal for the last 4 years. I got 5 books full of stuff. Like I done wrote a novel. I'm like, hey, I'm good. I got dates, times, witnesses, whatever, and you just write it all in. And that is a legal binding document, actually, that we use from safety background. As long as you don't rip a page out of there, just keep writing in there and never rip a page out. It's a legal document that you can actually use in court. Just a side note. Actually use that in court, because you might have to. You might have to use that in court, especially dealing with a narcissist parent, or you're in that relationship, or whatever the case is.
Yes. So yes, we covered a lot on narcissistic relationships from a man and woman's perspective. I think this is a good conversation. It's needed because people need to know both sides. So anyone can be experiencing this. This spirit does not discriminate. It does not stop in the home. People are dealing with this, faith-based workplace. They're dealing with it in the workplace as well. So it's in from the top, from president on down. It's prevalent in our churches everywhere. So the more people that know about this, the better. Like you said, knowledge is power. Read, study, discern, ask the Holy Spirit to direct you and guide your path.
Definitely. Once again, like I said, that's my lovely wife, beautiful wife, Shannon Savoy. You see the Narc Free Living banner. Yeah, she got a nice banner. I just have my little middle thing. But no, I love my middle thing. She actually likes it too. Once again, we just wanted to bring something to y'all that, we talked about. It's like, okay, we need to do a video. We got a few more videos we discussed that we're going to do together. And she actually started her YouTube channel. So we're going to link that in the description. And just it's all about supporting each other, and learning. You trying to learn things that people say they know everything. We talked about this earlier. I ain't gonna say no names, but some people just think they know everything, and that's narcissist people. Usually, they think they know more than you, and then comes to find out they don't know diddly squat. I'm say it just like that. They don't know what they say they know. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But once again, this is Faith-Based Workplace YouTube channel. If you haven't had the opportunity to subscribe, click the bell. If you came back, hey, welcome back. I thank y'all for the support. That's actually the thumbnail we're going to be posting for this video. That's a pretty picture right there.
It is.
I like it. So yeah, we're going to be posting this video, today, and uploading it, and we welcome comments. That's one of the things, because the comments get a discussion where we're able to talk about it. So I keep trying to push that. The more we comment, you got different people going through different things. You want to use alias names or whatever, create fake YouTube. Hey, just leave a comment and talk. Because if not, like she just said, knowledge is power. So once again, Shannon, can you leave? Telling people how they can get in touch with you before we close out.
Yes, at Narc Free Living LLC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Narc Free Living on YouTube as well. And then the website is www.narcfreeliving.com. So we're around.
Yeah, we definitely around. And once again, like I said, it's Faith-Based Workplace YouTube channel. We definitely see you again. You'll definitely see Shannon again, and then hopefully I'll get to do a couple of videos on her channel, because her channel's starting to grow a little bit over there. I see.
Yeah, started last week, doing pretty good.
Yes, yes. So once again, like I said, this faith-based workplace and then Narc-free living, obviously, together to bring you this video. The name of this is Narcissistic Relationships from a Man and Woman's Perspective. God bless you, and God bless yours.